So was Zuckerberg being obstinate by refusing to testify in front of all these global lawmakers? Or has Facebook recognized that the less we hear from this guy, maybe the better? What do you think?
I think at the moment, yes, I think they do realize that right now Zuckerberg needs to stay under the radar, given the scrutiny, the fact that the company, their latest quarter hasn't been the greatest. You're seeing the stock plummet after quite a bit of time. The company has said that they're complying with EU protection laws, data protection laws. However, this meeting in the fact that Zuckerberg didn't show up in UK Parliament shows that maybe they're hiding something, too, when it comes to Brexit and the 2016 Brexit. Was there any type of political interference on the network? These are all questions that need to be asked, especially when it affects democracy. So by not showing up, I think it's very, very concerning for Facebook as a whole. But if I were working for the company, part of the PR side, I'd say, hey, no, Zuckerberg right now, people don't like him. They don't trust the company. You're seeing that reflected in the number of users, the fact that the growth is starting to slow down. So I'm a little bit concerned.
So to me, it's a short-term, long-term thing. In the short term, absolutely, they're keeping him out of there for one simple reason. We just looked at a clip that the mainstream media is not going to go anywhere near. They're just not going to get to it. If Mark Zuckerberg had been there testifying, it would have been everywhere. You don't think
they would talk about it? Just the fact that he didn't show up? Like, Zuckerberg's not showing up.
It'll be a line in the newspaper. You won't see it on a lot of places. If he shows up, they make a big fuss. So right there, that's beneficial. But in the long run, he is really ticking off these European regulators who don't like him to begin with because he's being disrespectful and not coming. Yeah. It will hurt Facebook in the long run.
I think what Facebook is facing, what a lot of social media is facing right now, clearly they have not been handling it well so far, but in social media, the bigger question is, and it's similar to what we were discussing earlier with Google, is to what degree are they responsible for promoting freedom of speech, for resisting oppression, and to what extent are they involved in censorship? Like, where's that line between these are phony Facebook accounts and these are people that are spewing out all kinds of false information? Is it freedom of speech if I say, you know, I can fly and pumpkin, you know, I can make up all kinds of ridiculous data? If I can come up with that and I can say those things, is that my freedom of speech, or is it allowing me to spread scurrilous information?
And let me just throw this into our conversation. He has missed 80% of the invitations to testify before regulatory groups in Europe. So it's not like we're paying a lot of attention.
Because he exerts so much control on the company. He has too much control, if anything. Maybe he should step down as chairman.
The media is not covering the fact that he misses all
We are covering it.
We are. That's
but
look,
really Christina, I agree. Christina, I agree with you about the fact that Facebook needs to answer to a lot of questions out there, and then somewhere Mark Zuckerberg needs to answer for that. But when you have a bunch of elected buffoons that want to have a dog and pony show, I just don't blame Zuckerberg for not showing up for these clowns. I mean, this is,
by the way, a lot of these guys weren't even elected. I just wanted to back up your point, John. A lot of these people were sort of the British twits, the House of Lords, you know, the guys who aren't elected to anything in particular.
Twits.
Wow.
Which makes it worse. All they need is floppy shoes and a red nose. I don't blame Zuckerberg for not showing up.
Let's not go long term on John Layfield in England.
John,
either.
are you confusing the grilling that Zuckerberg had here in the United States and the questions he got there?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all. I'm just saying, why show up to this dog and pony show? I think Zuckerberg plays terribly. Look, Facebook has as many women out there as most NBA basketball teams do. I mean, they're a misogynist culture. Put someone out there like Sheryl Sandberg. She's terrific. She's a brilliant lady. Mark Zuckerberg does not play well in front of these guys, and he's lost the political battle. Whereas Bezos, look, Bezos was hated by the liberals. He changes the minimum wage. Bezos was hated by conservatives. He now says we're going to deal with the DOD. He's now become the darling. Mark Zuckerberg can't figure out the political process, so I think it's best they keep him out of the limelight.
Right, but then why bring up Sheryl? She's too politically connected. She's from Washington. She's from the political world. She's not going to put her reputation on the line by sitting in that chair. That's my opinion. What I would think is the reason why she's not stepping in in this role. So Zuckerberg.
And I don't think Facebook leadership can win either way. If you put a Zuckerberg or you put a Sheryl out there, anybody that's in the top echelons is not going to win. Because like you said, this is a bunch of politicians that just want to get sound bites. They want to make themselves look good, and they want to make Facebook look like the great big bad enemy. I don't think they can possibly win. And what they're probably looking for, and what I think a lot of social media is looking for, as much as I hate regulation, they want somebody outside to say, here's the line. Because otherwise, how do they they win? How does Facebook or Twitter or Google, how do they say on a global basis, here's the line between censorship and letting a bunch of ridiculous things get floated about as fact?
By the way, the other thing that regulators want is cash, and they're getting a lot of it because some of these fines are in double-digit billions of dollars. So don't forget the money contingent. These folks are as interested in money as anybody.